All right, I'm live. I'm live. I'm live. I'm live for a minute. Just for a minute. Just for a minute. Just for a minute. You know, I got a couple of hits on that first one, but I fucked it up and I left. I left the car. It was a bad morning, and I walked off, and it was recording uh, nothing on my dash, and I apologize. All right, let's get to it. Where do we start? Let's see. Come here, Bella. All right. So I'm going to tell you like this. Let's try and start out. This is not practiced, rehearsed, or anything. So you're going to have to bear with me, and you're going to have to realize that the best element for insight is real, genuine people on the fly. I mean, yeah, sure, but I'm sure put everything together, make you a little profile, do all kinds of put it all make it all crafty and neat. Put your picture up on the whatever, man. I've seen stupid people put heads up on there like we need to see your face, right? I mean, if you're gonna show me stuff on the screen, why is your face there? Okay, mine doesn't count right now. Oh, you're gonna mine doesn't count right now. I don't need to show you anything. Okay, science is truth. That's where we're gonna start. We're gonna start with a little backdrop on what humans believe to be true and why. So, in reality, in society, we have theory and we have method. You know the word theory very well, and for some reason, all of the theories that build that have this Big Bang heliocentric bullshit on file. All of these theories literally are called the theory of this or this of the, you know what I mean? The blah, blah, blah theory. So, what part of theory did you miss? Now, you've heard the word theory a million times. Have you heard the word method? Do you know what method means? Have you ever heard the term scientific method? That's the only thing humans have ever used to dictate their belief of something, if that's what you want to call it. But what I call it and what scientists call it is an understanding. Now, method. Method. Now let's see if we can put this in perspective and put it in order so you can feel this one. Method governs. What does it govern? What does scientific method govern? Okay, well, it'll govern our understanding of something, right? Look at that little bitch just fucking popped in and then left. You don't want to know nothing. You don't want to know nothing, bro. You don't even want to know. You just want some entertainment. This is for the big boys. This is for the real man. So we do method. We conduct our scientific experiments, and when those show us what is definitely going to happen, we draw up a method. Now, that method will govern our understanding of something. Let's just say experiments for now. It'll govern our understanding of what we're doing with this experiment here in front of us, right? So what governs all of that? Law. What governs method? I mean, what governs the experiment and method? Now that we know that it's going to be the same. Okay, for example, the method of measurement. All right? We have a law, okay, that says you're never going to get a different answer. You can use math to convert that answer for whatever reason you need. I wish I could pause this because I really need to smoke some pot. So here's what we're going to do. Okay, method is the only thing we use in science to prove to another human that something is true or what we are saying is true. Okay, so if you wanted to prove something, by the way, you don't have to prove science, but if you were at a round table and you said, this is how it is and this is what will happen every time, prove it. Here's our method. That's what they do. This is the method. So here's the deal. There's no method. There's absolutely no method for measuring this globe that you think you live on. I'm already 5 minutes into this. That's why this is for real men. All right, we just got rid of all the little punks because they ain't here to learn, they ain't here to think, they ain't here for insight. They're here to talk shit, contradict you, play games. Fucking, they're bored. So here's the deal. There's no method that exists within the industry or within the profession of land surveying. There is no method for actually for measuring a ball. They don't have a method for that. That's not what they do. Now, most trolls will come quick with some term like geodetic surveying or geodesic, whatever. You don't know what that means, apparently. It has nothing to do with surveying land. Okay, you're not surveying anything. Geodesics deals with already surveyed land and converts that shit with math. So check this out. Even WGS 84, even Google Earth is built on WGS 84. That's flat Earth data. We had to put that shit up into a digital model. Matter of fact, they did the whole model. They did the fake gravitational field and all that shit. Go look at it. WGS 84, bitch. Check it out. It's made on Google Earth data. Okay, flat Earth data. All land survey data. We all know bathymetry data proves that. Okay, all water is flat. Come on now. Of course there's swelling. We didn't say smooth, we said flat. Just like land. Of course there's mountains. Of course there's ridges, valleys. But did you know that there are larger plains at the bottom of the ocean than there are on the top? On Earth, per se? On land? You bet. I got the smokes packed. Hold on. Just bear with me. So check it out. Not one surveyor actually surveys a globe. It's never happened. No one's ever observed it or measured it. Fuck what you're looking at. No one out pictures. Do you think people that are developing and building are going out there and taking pictures like, yeah, it looks good. Looks good. Let's do it. We survey everything and we have a perfect model of all geometry that we're about to build on. Have you ever heard of point cloud data? All right, well, you don't need to believe anything about the land surveying. You're going to have to go get that yourself, okay? But every geological department on Earth agrees with me. So you can contradict it all you want, but until you know what you're looking at, you actually can't say anything. No one's going to listen to you. We know you don't want to believe it. We don't need to be reminded every day. And by the way, this little battle about who the burden of proof is on, it's on the people that says it exists. So if you think you live on a globe, that burden of proof is on you. If NASA tells you that the globe exists and that's what you walk on, burden of proof is on them. The burden of proof is never on the person that says it doesn't exist. You're going to have to prove it's there. No one has to prove it's not there. All right, we're going to get down to some real good stuff here. Now that you understand that land surveyors always measure a flat plane, always measure a flat plane, and that all data, all paperwork, everything you'll ever look at is triangulating straight lines, all proving flat plane. And then all of our coordinates, we had plenty of mapping systems made out. Everybody knew Earth was flat, and or as you put it, believed Earth was flat. They found their way. Plenty of people sailing. You didn't know people were sailing back in Babylon, did you? Oh, that's right. Well, for some reason you saw the shit on the wall, but what did you think it was? Just fucking art? that somebody just dreamt. These motherfuckers were navigating with the stars, the same stars, but we'll get to that. Oh, we'll get to that. We'll get to that 26,000. So, for 10 times longer than people believed in a globe, people have been navigating thinking the whole time Earth was flat, and they found their way. Now, mathematics can make a flat plane look like anything. Have you ever even dove into the USGS accepted projections and coordinate systems? You can make Earth look like a cone. You can make Earth look like a pyramid. You can make Earth look like anything. Get a clue. Get a grip. With math, I can do anything with your imagination. But at the end of the day, what you gonna do with that theodolite? Just sit there and fucking tell yourself what you want to believe? Let me know when you take your ass to Mount Everest with a theodolite. So, and then I'll give you some of my time. But check this out. Let's get to them stars real quick. That destroys your entire universe. I'm just cutting right to it. So we got rid of the globe. That's by default. Land surveyors have always measured a flat Earth for thousands of years. If you want to talk about the sundial easily proving that the sun moves closer and further away, we can do that. Let's talk about the stars real quick. I just want to shred the universe real quick, because it actually took me a minute to think about this. Because we all know we have cycles, but we all want to believe what we were told for some reason about this ever-expanding universe. Impossible. You know why? Because for thousands of years, every night, and there's multiple reasons. Please don't just hear this first one and trip out and freak out in your mind. Keep listening. So, for thousands of years, not one star has ever displayed motion parallax in relation to another. Not one star has ever displayed motion parallax in relation to another. It has never moved in relation to another. Only the planets. But get this. So the planets are on their own little cycle. Nothing's deviating from nothing. Always goes back to a point of origin. They are literally orbital frequencies. Those are governed by a 26,000 year precessional cycle. That is a cycle that continues to do the same thing over and over and over, which is impossible in an ever-expanding universe, because you cannot have an explosion and a cycle at the same time. You can't. Those are two different realities. You can't have that. You can't. So that's by default. You'll never prove the Big Bang Theory. And then who missed the word theory at the end? So here's the deal. Copernicus's heliocentric model, come to find out, is mathematically, I'm gonna make up a word here, matrixed to fucking Tycho Brahe's geocentric. Exact same mathematics, just from a heliocentric perspective. That means, guess what that means? That's bad. That means Copernicus's heliocentric model that he released goes against, completely, absolutely, logically against the Big Bang Theory, because you cannot have constant cycles, like a guaranteed cycle governed by an even bigger cycle at the same time things are expanding. Now here's what your small minds were brainwashed with, simply because they knew you would believe it. that it's because what they do is there's a part of what we call common logic, because it's based at our scale. So what we do is we can easily see that at the scale that they've given us, we can easily just blindly throw our hands up and bow and say, of course it's so slow that we wouldn't be able to ever see it. Duh. No. It's 2020. We have the shit. We have a way to calculate everything. Every movement of everything. We can measure any force. We can do anything. And we can do anything all the way down to the nano scale. Especially measuring surfaces and forces. So that's impossible. There's no ever expanding universe. You will never be able to find one private astronomer. Get this. It's getting smashed. Go look. I promise you. Okay, so if we're claiming these stars are fixed, literally like a clock, like where everything always does the same thing. Okay, hold on. You'll be able to validate anything you want if it's observable, especially over history. You will not be able to find one astronomer that can prove to you any kind of motion parallax or any kind of movement of any stars in relation to another. I'm not talking about what you saw on TV. This is deep. This is at the top. Why do you think you've never seen anything from any observatories? You may have seen like some elaborate bullshit mosaic. Oh, I love that that deep star field mosaic. Give me a break. Whew. They did all that from nothing, and then you can easily enhance that with CGI. But they didn't. It's not like they got closer to anything. Please, they all just fly by. So measurably flat, and then the precessional cycle. I've been to an observatory too. Good thing you can't prove anything about what those observatories are capable of, because that just makes me correct. You'll never find one astronomer. Not one single astronomer, good, bad, ugly, or low level, high level, that can prove any kind of motion parallax in the night sky or throughout history. It's all in the same spot. And our proof is the precessional cycle of 26,000 years, because that is what astrology is built on, and that is what all of your leaders and heroes still worship today. And hey, come on, boy, come on, and come on, we gotta go home, Baba. Come on. And that's what they still worship today, is the astrological cycles. Astrology. Come on, Bubba. Oh, man. can't hang. Can't hang. You know.
How you doing?
Hey, how you doing? The list is so long. So I went straight to the globe and straight to the universe. You're done. Every land surveyor on Earth and throughout history has measured a flat Earth. And all data, including what Google Earth is built on, WGS 84, proves it. You wouldn't know where to start unraveling WGS 1984. Y'all want to talk about math? You don't even know how to read math. It's like, yeah. It's like that dude who talks shit in a foreign language right in front of you. You just proved how much of a pussy you are. So you guys just prove how incapable and ill-equipped you are. When you got, I'm about to get in my truck too. We got all day. So you're never gonna prove me wrong about the motion parallax and the precessional cycle. Watch out, Bubba. Watch out, Bubba. Come on. Hey, come on. Come on. And you'll never prove me wrong about the land surveyors. There's no method. There is absolutely no method. Man, I gotta quit smoking. I'm out of breath. There's no method for measuring a globe. It doesn't exist. Look at what happens when you dig. Come here, Bubba. You'll never. So not only did I tell you you'll never find an astronomer to prove you anything, and you won't. Don't worry about that. Good boy. You'll never find a land surveyor who knows how to measure a globe. Imagine that. Oh, you want to get into some better stuff? Like no 24-hour sun in Antarctica? Okay, let's go there. Let's start with every YouTube video of any attempt to try and make it look real has been fake. All of it. Bad too, real bad. Especially the one that the Murdo Station employee made. The clouds were the exact same at the beginning and the end. No joke. Okay, 24-hour sunlight. Okay, so here's the deal. You want to know what easily proves that Antarctica is a huge problem for the equator, and that's why they had to pick a barrier? Because the equator doesn't line it. Put it this way. You can see Polaris from the equator, no problem. Any time of year, all year long. Just might be higher or lower. And then you can see any one constellation with let's just say Big Dipper. I'm going to just tell you what I know. You can see the Big Dipper along with Polaris from the same lateral anywhere on Earth in the north. If it's visible. North of the equator, I'm sorry. That's bad. You cannot see Sigma or the so-called focal point. That's not observable till about 20 degrees south. That's a huge problem for the supposed equator. It's a huge problem. That's why the only meme you've ever seen was a fraudulent star trail image in the middle by NASA. You can't get star trail images from a moving vehicle. I could go there if I wanted to right now. All of the fraudulent NASA footage and material. You can't get star trail footage from moving vehicles. It's from a fixed location, and it's in relation to the motion of stars. So you can't get it from something going thousands of miles an hour, and it just looked like warp drive in Star Wars or something. But anyway, where was I going with that? The list is too long. Oh, the equator is okay. So Polaris is the only thing that's in history. We're bringing facts out that you can't prove wrong. Polaris is the only pole star that's ever been used as a reference to the precessional cycle. That's a little bit of a problem. Not one civilization in history that obviously understood all of the motion of all of the stars. Not one civilization south of the equator ever referenced sigma for a precessional cycle. Just Polaris. That's a huge problem. It's no 24-hour sun or darkness either. No 24-hour darkness. You can't have either of those if you don't have one. So yeah, man, you can watch it. I like the fake time lapses though. You can literally, from like Norway, you can literally watch the sun do like a totally horizontal path. You can't match the path of the sun on those fake videos with the equivalent of that of the north. They're dumb. The McMurdo station employee guy, like I said, the clouds were the same at the beginning and the end. You can just go validate that now. There's a couple people who have pointed it out. I found it on my own. I didn't know a bunch of people had already did that. I was doing my own work. But anyway, I gotta go. Ain't nobody really doing anything. This is just for people who come by later because, you know what I mean? I ain't got all day to do this crap. But the whole land surveyor thing, you guys don't need to look at pictures anymore. It's done. It's done. That's out, and it's land surveying supersedes all of that. So don't get it twisted, and don't get geodesic surveying twisted. It has nothing to do with surveying land. It has everything to do with converting already surveyed land into just various coordinate systems for various reasons. And it turns out they use the azimuthal equidistant for navigation. All military, USGS, all that. All ballistics. You guys think that there's some sort of stupid Coriolis effect? Like, there's a reason it's called an effect, guys. Yeah, you guys think that just only, people go round and round about this. You settle this with any howitzer. Those are all using flat plane coordinates. What? Any howitzer, any tank, any railgun, any railroad cannon, railgun even, and those actually prove it. So we ain't gonna go to all that shit. All that stupid shit you guys just like to run your mouth and contradict, and you cannot provide correction. Like this thread will continue on forever without corrections. People will drop links and do whatever they can, say whatever they can. There won't be actually any correction. There'll just be contradiction. Okay, the precessional cycle proves that the universe is fixed. That's why they made astrology into a laughable situation and mythical. You'll always hear it just talk about it's mythical and shit, except it uses real coordinates of the stars. Imagine that. You're so backwards brainwashed, you have no idea. You're brainwashed to laugh at everything. And just before I end with that about keeping people ridiculed to stay away from certain things, I'm going to give you the last thing to run with on your own. Magnetism answers for any kind of imaginary gravitational force. It's a duality of forces. every force has a duality, and you're never going to find a one-way single force that just only does one thing and doesn't reckon with another. And you'll never find a force, especially pulling everything into a point of singularity. That's absurd. Now you can sort of push everything sort of like that, um, and enhance a cloud and densed up. So if you have pressure all around you, you can cloud up material. You can everything just as a cloud condenses, or just as any gases condense within the pressure. But you can't suspend pressure in a vacuum. You tripping? You're tripping. You can't suspend vacuum in a pressure. Those are two. They reckon with each other. You got to separate them. They have to be. You know what I'm saying? Like you need a barrier, or it's a constant. And if you don't understand vacuum